Hi there, guys. This is the part 2 gameplay portion of our black-green Throne of Eldraine draft that we just did. If you want to see the draft portion, just watch the first video. In terms of removal, we have cards like Scalding Cauldron, Double Reef Soul, and that's pretty much it. In this deck, our removal is kind of not the most amazing, but hopefully we're just looking to maybe just stabilize, trade off creatures, hold the fort, and win the game with a Flying Reaper, Sir Comrade perhaps, and Forever Young that can get back our creatures. We have a single Trail of Crumbs and Savvy Hunter and a Tempting Witch as kind of our food payoff engines. In terms of food, we have Double Golden Egg, a Curious Pair, Savvy Hunter can potentially go off, Trail of Crumbs can make a food, Tempting Witch can make a food, Fierce Witch Stalker can make a food. So we should have enough food payoff cards to enable some of our synergies that can gain us a ton of value once in future. And Forever Young are kind of like our recursion engines. Also plays well with Sir Comrade, since every time you get a creature card from your graveyard, this triggers. So overall, a pretty solid black-green deck. The power level of this could have been higher, but unfortunately the second pack and third pack didn't give us too many amazing black-green cards. And if you want to check out our draft, you can definitely look at the part 1 video. Cards I'm leaving out, not playing Witch's Cottage. I think this card deck is looking for more adamant green payoff cards with cards like Oakcame Ranger. Once in future, the Gingerbread Cabin is looking to be to get some adamant going. Also, Golden Egg already fixes for mana, so I'm fine going 10-7 here with the 7 Swamp in case maybe we end up, for example, having too much black for the most part, but I think we still need black for the early game to cast Reef Soul, Order, Smitten Swordsmaster, Tempting Witch, Falmer Knight, and Sir Comrade. That I'm making the case for Adamant for heavy green. Also, they're kind of even in color, even in terms of mana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they're almost even split that I can see myself going 10-7 here. Double Sporecap Spider, don't need Fell the Pheasant. I don't want to go down a creature. I think 15 creatures. I think we want to maximize the amount of creatures we have. Just so we can trigger Sir Comrade more often. Oakcame Ranger has more stuff to pump, and we can block and defend off in the early game that I don't need to side in a card like Fell the Pheasant. Since we're kind of a little bit weak to flyers, but we already have Double Sporecap Spider that can keep them at bay. Rosethorn Halberd, we have too many humans, so this isn't amazing. The pump tricks are temporary, that I rather have, recursion spells over them, so seems like the logic for this type of deck. I could go Adamant Hengewalk, but I think the Sporecap Spider does a better job at blocking, and even then this isn't that amazing as an attacker. So yeah, pretty decent black-green deck. Hopefully we can get to 5, 6, or 7 wins. We'll see. Alright, we have a 2-mana Mare Leaf Rider at 2, Rosestorm Acolyte on 3, and then we can potentially do a Mind Rod or Fierce Witch Stalker at 4. Seems like a perfect keep, and we're also on the draw, so seems fine. Opponent's on red, okay. Start with a green. And we want to primarily play green. I guess Rosethorn Acolyte, I forgot to mention, also fixes our mana. So in a sense, it's reasonable to go 10-7. Rim Knight exactly on 2. I think I'm going to trade off for the Mare Leaf Rider here. Again, we're not the most aggressive deck. So I'm fine trading this off. If he has a Bargain, this still trades. And he can't really block with this, so I'm fine getting this out of the way. Could have a Scorching Dragon Fire in case I'll have to take 3. Probably going to fire it off. Yep. Take 3, seems reasonable. Weaselback, okay. I think we should have enough for Adamant that I'm going to play off Swamp, play out the Acolyte, and say go. Now, I can make the case of blocking Weasel back and forcing him to pump and waste the whole entire turn for 3 damage if he decides to attack with it. I can also make the case of trading this off, since I think I should have enough land to play out the Fierce Witchstalker, and I can take 3 here, go down to 14. What happens if I do? I still have a 4-drop to play. It does slow me down, the fact that I can't play my Reaper a little bit earlier, but I think it's still fine because I think we're kind of flooding out with this hand. We have 6 lands and then extra one gets us to 7. And I'm not looking to double spell anyways next turn, so I think this block is fine and the trade is fine. Don't want to take infinite damage, and a Rimrock Knight smashing in the face doesn't seem fun. Okay, an Ogre Errant. Alright, I guess Fierce Witchstalker is a nice blocker against this 3-4. I could Mind Rot them, of course, but I don't want to take all this damage. I want to put out a blocker that makes an unreasonable attack onto this. This is going to gain menace next turn after he attacks. If he's attacking into this, he could have a pump trick, so I might consider not blocking. Like a Bargain would kind of punish me, and I can probably just take the damage and Reaper them and do it next turn. Okay, I guess an Ember Paladin is pretty scary here. I could just trade for it. I guess I don't want to take 5, and this can eventually give this menace, and this buys a turn, so... Ooh, Forever Young seems decent here. So now what? I could Mind Rot them. I think it's fine doing it. I could Forever Young, but I can't really play anything besides a Rosethorn Acolyte, but it doesn't even block the Ogre Errant or Weasel back, because it's going to get menace. So I think Mind Rotting them is fine here and just take a couple points of damage. And we got some good discards, Searing Barrage and Merchant of Vale. Okay, so I'm going to take a ton of damage here. Next turn I can Forever Young back my Fierce Witchstalker. I'm probably going to leave the Rosethorn in the graveyard because it doesn't even block these cards profitably. And I could pick up something like a removal spell. Going to take a ton of damage here, but hopefully I can stabilize next turn. Opponent's mono red aggro. He should pump here. Okay, Rimrock Knight, and he's going to pump once, I guess. Makes sense. Oh, I guess he wants to play out the Rimrock Knight. Okay, sure. So Weaselback is going to get a little bit annoying, so I think I'm going to have to Forever Young here, I think, obviously. And now what? I guess I'm going to get the Fierce Witchstalker back. I could make the case of getting the Rosethorn Acolyte, but then the Ogre Errant can attack past it. The Fierce Witchstalker is obviously the grab since I need to block this Ogre Errant profitably. He could just attack with the Weaselback and just pump next turn. I do need another creature to double block the Menace, but I should have Reaper on 7. So I think just getting a Fierce Witchstalker is fine. Next, and if he just attacks the Weaselback, I might just be fine just taking it if he wants to pump, and then I can play out Reaper the turn after to do a double block. So obviously not trading here, because if I do, he's just going to pump and get a good trade, and I won't have anything to block this Ogre Errant. This Reaper can double block this Ogre Errant, so I think I'm just going to take it here, even though this is quite a bit of damage. I guess he's not pumping so because he has a follow-up. Another Ogre Errant, okay. So he can give them both menace, but I can still double block them. I could once in future here. Don't think I want to get back a Rosethorn, especially if it gets traded off with these Ogre Errants. I think it makes reasonable sense to just play out the Reaper here. Have a good double block. I guess I might have to block the Weaselback because this is going to become 5 damage. So if I double block a single Ogre Errant, all this damage is going to get through. So I might be forced to just block the Weaselback red cap and block a Rimrock and block a Rimrock Knight, for example. And then maybe gain some life next turn, along with once in future. Yeah, he could just give these both menace, but I definitely need to deal with this Weaselback, otherwise it's going to be too much damage for me to take. Alright, so he's going all in. Alright, so now what? He's gonna give that Ogre Errant Menace and the other one Menace, I'm presuming. Alright, I definitely don't want to double block the Ogre Errants, of course, because he can just pump, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I should be dead if I do a Menace block, so I think I need to block like this. Should make sense here. He's forced to pump the Weasel back twice. And obviously I trade off the creature with low toughness. Now he has double Menacers attacking in. I don't have any creatures. What if I once in future? I can play out the I can play out a Rosethorn Acolyte and potentially do a decent double block and go down to 1. Of course, I could just sacrifice food. And gain life. Or I could just take it. How much food can I stack? I can go up to 7. I think I have to risk it here. I mean, I guess I could just play a food and hopefully get a creature on top. So I think I'm going to do this. Okay, Kiri Spare seems decent. I can still make a food, play it out, and gain life. So I think that's the play. And I can still do a pretty decent double block, and I can say go. Unless he top decks a Searing Barrage for Adamant, I'm in trouble. Alright. Makes a 1-1, sure. So opponent needs a pretty good top deck here to finish me off. He could just fling at me. I guess a Ginger Brute, sure. Don't think that's still enough, since I can sacrifice food and go up to 6. But I have a pretty good double block against this Ogre Errant. So the drawing the food was a pretty decent call. Just gonna sacrifice food now in case I forget. Shouldn't have sacrificed a golden egg because it could help me fix for mana, but I already have all the adamant that I need. So yeah, let's just go for a good double block here. Take 4 down to 3. Next turn we can trail and start getting some stuff. Right, Occam seems decent here. Don't know if I want to play it out though, since I think I need to gain more life with the food. So I have 7 mana to sacrifice. I have 6 foods to sack. I think the play here is Trail here, Trail of Crumbs, and let's tap more efficiently. I could once in future, and what do I get back? I can only play a 3-drop, being the Rosethorn Acolyte, so I don't think it's worth it here. So I can once in future for 4, play a 3-drop. I don't think it's worth it. I think the better play is just Trail. Sacrifice of food, I guess. I think I'm going to play Will Pay for 1 here. Hopefully get something good off top. Tempting Witch looks good. Over to Swamp. Yeah, let's take it. And I can still sacrifice food end of turn, which I probably will. Unless he doesn't have lethal. I still have a good block against this 3-4. Because he's just going to make this unblockable and hit me for 1. But I'm still fine going down to 5. I don't necessarily need to sacrifice a food just to stay up to 6. I can get more value just using Trail of Crumbs and the food to draw stuff. Okay, definitely taking 5 here. If he has an Ember Cleave or something he flashes in, I'm definitely going to sacrifice the food. Alright, just say go. Land is nice. So I think I'm going to play out the land here. So I'm going to have up to 8 land. So I can still once in future get back Fierce Witchstalker or Forever Young and play it out. But this Trail is tempting. I guess this Tempting Witch is tempting. But yeah, let's just sacrifice food for now, see what we can do. Swordsmaster looks decent here. I think I'm just going to play out the Tempting Witch. I could just play out the Swordsmaster and then sacrifice food and use Trail of Crumbs. I think that's reasonable. I don't think I'm going to use the 1 mana ability often, so let's just do this and just say go. Don't think I'm attacking either. I think I need as much life as possible against like a mono red deck, otherwise he's just gonna destroy me. Right, 7 dwarves, sure. He could have Thorbrand, which I don't really have much to answer. Wish I picked up an out muscle, but unfortunately the packs didn't give me any. Order seems great. Ooh, Sir Comrade? Think I'm just gonna drop that down. Yeah, let's drop it down. Do I get in there for 4? The Ogre Aaron still doesn't have a good block against this, but if he has removal, I'm going to be in trouble, so probably not. Probably not going to activate this end of turn. I think I want to search with the Trail of Crumbs and stabilize instead. So yeah, black-green is looking to be a little bit more controlling and defensive. You aren't necessarily looking to outrace the opponent or smash them. There are some occasions where you can make the argument that you are going to do that, but if you pick up like a million like 1-drops and 2-drops, but overall this is really how the game is meant to be played. Pretty slow deck, but the power level's up there if you can get going. Probably not going to mill here. I think I'm still going to sacrifice food and draw a card. This Trail of Crumbs has been doing a lot of work. Sporecap Spider seems solid here. So now I would have a decent blocker against this Ogre Errant. I guess my Reaper can start getting in now. And this also generates me a food, so that's really good. So yeah, let's move to attacks. I think I'm liking the Reaper zerging the opponent. And I might just save the order just to might retrieve something, of course. I could just play out the Oakham Ranger now, since it's a little bit harder to cast. I could just make 2/1/1 humans, in fact. I think that might be reasonable, given that I need a bunch of blockers up, so I think this is fine. And don't think I'm sacrificing food, but Sporecap Spider seems like a pretty solid blocker. Could also order, but I think I'm going to save it for Sir Conrad. I might just activate Sir Conrad end of turn. Opponent should just concede here. I don't know what he's thinking of. But the opponent definitely had a really scary start. Okay, so he's going to go in now, since there's really no reason for him to stay back. So I think I'm going to block. Maybe I don't mind trading off Sir Comrade because I can just fetch it back with Order of Midnight and once in future. And also I can just mill 2 if he decides to kill this. Could use a pump trick, that's fine. So Conrad will die, but I can just get back with Order of Midnight. Hopefully there's no Embercleave here. Please no Embercleave. Alright, Bargain, that's fine. Just gonna activate the mill effect. Well, the Cauldron wasn't something I wanted to lose, but alright, sure, it's just 1 trample damage. Sir Conrad dies, but I can just fetch it back. I'm gonna gain a bit of life too, so this is okay. Don't know what the opponent's thinking here. I don't think Embercleave is going to kill anything, so guess he's just going to let damage happen. Sure. Alright, I think I like land here. Now what? Could once in future for Adamant and get back Sir Comrade, but I think it's better to just play Order Midnight and get it back. Yeah, let's get back Sir Comrade. Seems solid. We can even play out Sir Comrade and then sacrifice. I guess I could still sacrifice food main phase and find something off top. Seems reasonable, or I could just play everything out. Yeah, there's a stack food now. Palmer Knight looks decent. Yeah, I think I like playing out the Sir Comrade here. I could attack him for 4-2. I think I don't mind. He could use another Pump Strike, so I might just block with a Spore Cap Spider next turn. Just because I have 2 of them in the deck, and I can simply just recur them again with like Order and once in the future. So let's get in here. Definitely blocking the Ogre Errant if he attacks with this with the Spore Cap Spider. He obviously implies a pump trick, so I think I'm just gonna block here. If he wants to use it, go ahead. Okay, and there's 7 dwarves. Sure, don't think I care. You don't think the opponent's gonna win this? I guess we can just attack in with all. Or I could just still play it safe. Yeah, let's just play it safe. I can once in future Adamant end of turn. I can even just play out this Oakham Ranger. Yeah, I think I want to play this slow just so I don't end up getting killed by something that I wouldn't otherwise have died towards. I think it's more important to play it safe sometimes. So I can get 2 Conrad activations end of turn. Depends on how much high he's going to commit. He's probably going to commit everything now that he knows that this is his last step. Okay, got him. Well, that was a 20-minute game with a black-green foods deck, so there might be a part 3 video. But overall, our only problem with this deck is that we can't necessarily deal with too many bombs, of course. Our removal is pretty bad, given that we only have a Cauldron, double Reef Soul. So we have no real way to deal with giant threats. We could try to sign a Pump Spell, but I don't think it's worth it. Especially if I don't want to go down to 14 creatures and we want to have as much creatures as possible. I guess Garenbray Carver can potentially replace the Spore Cap Spider because it's kind of like a Pump Spell and a creature in a sense. So I can see myself cutting it and playing out the Garenbray Carver as a potential pump trick. Maybe there's a possibility that it does get past a big creature. I mean, it's not amazing, especially against aggro. If we're playing against another aggressive red opponent, we want to make sure that we have some good blockers, and we want to maximize the chances of them. So I think Spore Cap Spider is still good in this deck. But yeah, let's keep trying. Wish we pick up some Bognottis. A Bacon to a Pie would have been great. Something that at least deals with giant creatures. Of course, I could have splashed for the Searing Barrage, but that card was better off of Adamant anyways. And I guess we can still make enough creatures to maybe hold off and double block in the ground, and then we can just recur them back to maybe do so. Alright, we do have a golden egg to cantrip on 2. A single, we can still play the Occam Ranger, maybe sacrifice the food for it. We're on the play. And we do have Fierce Witchstalker on 4. I think it might be fine. Don't think I want to go down a land, so let's try this. Pulling on blue, plays out Cauldron. Okay, so that's not going to deal with Spider. So let's play out this golden egg. Make sure we hit our land drops consistently. Alright. Alright, so I guess we can still cast Occam Ranger and cast the Adventure. Right, Sporecap Spider is a great blocker, and we have Quadruple Force, so that's still fine. I need a way for him to... I need to bait out this Cauldron, in a sense. So, I don't know. Let's think. We're definitely going to play out land 4. I could adventure this right away. I could Reaper them, but that wastes the golden egg, and he still has 5 cards. You could have better fish to fry. I could just play out this Fierce Witchstalker, and let's say if he doesn't keep any mana back for this Cauldron, I can just get in a nice attack. So I think this is fine. And then we can stay back with the Sporecap Spider, blocking the Youthful Knight and the Tome Raider. So yeah, happy that I'm playing 2 of these. I think these are pretty decent blockers, especially for a more controlling blue deck. The Archon. I still have a Reef Souls that can deal with this. I could get an attack in, of course, and maybe force a double trade. Ooh, the Cauldron. I think that can take out the Archon, and I can get a good attack in. I could also use this later. A double trade wouldn't be bad, though, against these 2 cards. But this seems like a pretty decent target for the Cauldron. I just fired it off now. Especially if it makes me... Yeah, this makes me pay 1 for an attack. And I'm fine just getting rid of this, so I can just get a good attack in this turn, too. And this has Trample, so that's nice. I could, of course, play it slow and develop the board, but I think it was a reasonable turn to, as long as he's tapped out, to take out this Archon, because it's a pretty scary creature. Sure, trap in the tower. Could have Counterspell. He's getting attack in. That's weird. This implies something. Oh, I guess he has a Cauldron up. Yeah, never mind. Cauldron is gonna finish off this Sporecap Spider, so I don't think I want that to happen. It could be a good turn to Reaper and use up a food. I still will be taking 2 from this Youthful Knight, but he could have Counterspell here, I guess. So how about land, I mean, and maybe just adventure this Occam Ranger. Still have to take 2. I could Reaper, but this could be a counterspell. I'm fine maybe holding out a single turn and casting this. I think he's going to still have 2 cards left in his hand. So yeah, let's adventure this Occam Ranger, make some 2/1/1s. Fine if this gets countered. And just could get an attack in, but still need a blocker against the air. But I'm still fine taking 2 from his Youthful Knight. It's not that bad. I still don't want to lose this Sporecap Spider, especially if I have a decent block against this Tome Raider. Now, I could just play out the Occam Ranger, why not? And I could pump this Sporecap Spider. He still has 3 cards in his hand. I could just Reaper them. Let's say he draws a card next turn, plays a land. He could just double spell. But maybe it's fine just getting out the Reaper here. Risk it for the biscuit. He's definitely holding on to something. But I don't want this to get countered anyways, because this can be a decent attacker. I could just play out Trail. He might just counter, but I don't want that to get countered. Yeah, let's play out the Ranger. If this gets countered, that's fine. It's not the worst target. Because he can Cauldron this anyways, end of turn. And if he Cauldrons, that's fine. He won't have a Sporecap Spider that he can crack the Cauldron and get rid of instead. Yep, that's fine. Okay, Wishful Merfolk. Not something I'm too scared of. Hopefully there's no counterspell. think I just go for it. I could play out the Golden Egg first, but I guess this plays out around Mystical Dispute. So I think I'm going to go for it. If he counters it, I guess that can allow me to resolve Trail of Crumbs. If he counters, I can still resolve Trail. Okay, 2 islands. So yeah, Trail seems like a good card to try to resolve here. He didn't seem like he would have countered it if he had Counterspell, but thank God I managed to stall the opponent out. If he gets an attack in with this, I'm going to be kind of suspicious. So I might just double token here and trade. Okay, I guess he has a Cauldron. So now I don't really have any good blocks. I could kind of force him to waste the Cauldron if he decides to tackle the Wishful Merfolk on the 1/1. And I can just double block with these 2 tokens and he can just destroy one. Because I still think this is a better blocker. Right, just pass his turn. We have a single black mana, but we still need double black mana to get our engine going. But it's obviously the Swamp here that I don't mind playing. Could start with a Golden Egg. Seems reasonable. I could just play out Sir Comrade here. Or I can sack an egg. That's 2. Use 3 mana to draw a card, and I'll be down to 2 mana. I think Sir Comrade's worth it. Yeah, this seems reasonable. Definitely can't pay 1 here, so we're going to decline the Trail of Crumbs. And just say go for now. Do need double black for this Reaper. Cover removal spell here. Alright, Stolen by the Fae. He's going to get a million flyers. But I'm still going to play out Comrade. I mean, I guess I don't have an extra swamp to do it now. So now this is kind of sketchy. I should still have enough mana to find another swamp with Trail of Crumbs and play out Sir Comrade. So I think that's fine. Well, don't need a swamp, but I'll take a Tempting Witch. Could play out the can just cycle the Falmir Knights, maybe play out a swamp, but or I could just not play anything. I think the Tempting Witch is okay. Yeah, seems fine. And there's no discard in green white, so I'm fine playing out the land and just say go. Alright, Heraldic Banners is scary. So I do need a million life to get going here, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. Obviously going to block a flyer. I guess he can use the Cauldron, and I won't have any more defense against flyers. But I really don't want to take 2, so I think this has to happen. So Stone by Fae is going to be a bit of an issue. I mean, this right banner is going to be a bit of an issue. I need to find a way to stabilize and kill the opponent. Savvy Hunter can be a way. So I guess I could just play this out. I think I want to sack food first. Swamp is good. Play out Swamp. Probably have to sack food end of turn and draw a card. But I think the play now is Savvy Hunter, so I can get attack in next turn and make another food. Overall, yeah, this is pretty bad. The Heroic Banner is just... The Stone by the Fae pretty much won him this game. This should be lethal, I guess, for... Okay, yeah, I'm gonna sack food in response right now. Hopefully find an answer. And just take the damage for now. Guess I can play Sir Comrade, attack. And sacrifice food end of turn, I guess. Because I do need to eventually close out this game. Could attack with Vol, but he has a first striker. But Sir Comrade's fine because I can try to maybe grind him out by forcing him to do trades. Yeah, I think I need to find my second Spore Cap Spider, I guess. That can be my way to win, and I can just start making foods with the Savvy Hunter. Am I going to die next turn? This is 5, that's 10. So I definitely need to attack and sacrifice food end of turn. But the Heroic Banner pretty much got in this game, pretty much. Fine trading these two off. That's 2 damage to the face. Yeah, just say go. At least I didn't draw a swamp, so... Oh, actually that's lethal. Okay, yeah, good game. I couldn't have won. Alright, yeah, well, the Heroic Banner was really nice and is stolen by the Fae. Good game, opponent. You got me there. That bounce with the Stolen by the Fae was pretty huge. So, maybe we could play that game a little bit better, but we'll keep playing. That was a pretty good top deck, having both Stolen and Heraldic Banner. Otherwise, I think I would have got the opponent there. But Sporecap Spider did a lot of reasonable work for that match. Alright, we're on the draw. I don't have a single black. I think this is a mulligan. Yeah, let's mulligan this. And I think this is a fine keep. Don't want to bottom once in future. I think we can bottom a land, I think. Like, we can just play out the Golden Egg or Mare Leaf Rider on 2. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to bottom a land. And we're on the draw. We should eventually get there. Just don't want to flood out. We can play Mare Leaf Rider 2 or even Reef Soul. Okay, Ember of Shieldbreaker. That's fine. Don't think I want to Reef Soul that. Could just play out the Golden Egg and try to get a land next turn so I can block this profitably. I don't mind taking 2. I could also play the Mare Leaf Rider and do a trade. But I think it's better just to play the Golden Egg for now. Making sure I hit my land drop so I can play out this Sporecap Spider and block this profitably next turn. Alright, Raging Redcap is scary. Could just play this out. Could Reef Soul the 1-2 before it gets out of hand. But for now, I think the Sporecap Spider is fine. And can be reasonable to block this and maybe force a pump trick. I don't know. He obviously has something if he tries to attack in with this. And I still need a reasonable ground blocker. So that's weird. Yeah, you could have a +2/+2. And in that case, I don't really want to trade this off. So just no blocks here. Next turn, I can just Reef Soul this and play out Mare Leaf Rider. Sure, yep. Take 6. I should be able to stabilize. I guess he could pump again. But I should be able to stabilize next turn. Potentially. And with enough food, I can probably get there. I could also just Reef Soul Rimrock Knight, but I think I want to Reef Soul the Raging Redcap. So now what we're going to do, we're going to Reef Soul this Raging Redcap. Play out Mare Leaf Rider and just say go. Mare Leaf Rider is obviously going to block the Rimrock Knight, but I want the Sporecap Spider to block the Ember of Shieldbreaker, so we're just going to say go here. Next turn we can kind of Mind Rot them. I can also once in future back a Golden Egg. Sure, Searing Barrage is dumb, so I'll take 3 in the face. Trade off for the Rimrock Knight, that's fine. Could just stay back here. But yeah, as an aggro deck, you really don't want to stay back. I could just be fine taking 2 next turn from this Ember Shieldbreaker, and I can Mind Rot them. I think it's worth it, giving the last 2 cards out of their hand. Take 2, say go. Hopefully it doesn't top deck another creature spell, probably another land. Okay, I guess Marrowleaf Rider can now trade off. I could also once in future for Adamant, but I think it's better to play out the Marrowleaf Rider here. Maybe sack a food end of turn. Once in future, I mean, I could Forever Young and play out Sporecap Spider. Maybe that was the better play. But I guess I can just trade this off anyways. But I guess this plays around Searing Barrage in a sense. Okay, Red Cap melee, sure. Definitely gonna sacrifice Golden Egg here. I don't think the value of Trail Comb is worth it. I just want to preserve my life total as much as possible so I don't get run over. Makes a 1/1, sure, okay. Land is good. I think the play here is Forever Young, simply because I don't think I'm going to don't think I necessarily need to retrieve a removal spell yet. The Forever Young is pretty nice, can get back the Sporecap Spider. Don't think the Marrowleaf Rider is too good. Can be fine taking 1. But yeah, I don't really want to miss my draw step, so I'm going to submit just for the Sporecap Spider. Hopefully he doesn't top deck another Searing Barrage. That would almost be game over. And also once in future for Adamant end of turn. Scalding Cauldron's fine. I think I'm going to play that out. Next turn I can once in future for Adamant. Get back a Reef Soul and perhaps Forever Young. Alright. Managed to stabilize. So our deck is pretty solid against aggro. It just couldn't deal with Fatal Wishes and the Heraldic Banner. And I wish I forgot what I took over the Return to Nature, but that would have been a pretty good card in our sweet card in our deck. I think I took like Forever Young or something, but I think it's still worth it. Let's move on. Alright, I got the egg on 2. I can potentially cast Occam Ranger. I'm on the play. I think it's okay. I definitely need to pick up some 2-drops. I think this is fine. If I can get Occam Ranger on 4 with the Adventure, this can be a pretty solid 4-drop. Hopefully the opponent isn't playing a red deck and just going out all aggro. I guess he is. Okay, Weaselback Red Cap on 1, I guess. The Weaselback Knight. Well, it seems like red is incredibly popular in this set for some reason. So I'm going to have to take a beating for now. Hopefully get a 2-drop or 3-drop I can play. Flooding out, so I guess this is the risk of keeping this type of hand, but at least I can adventure this and block off the Weaselback on 4. It's not the most amazing blocker. Okay, a tapped land is fine, but Ginger Brutes are pretty annoying, so I'm going to still have to take a beating here. Right, Maraleaf can potentially trade off. I don't mind maybe blocking the Weaselback with it. It's not the most amazing, I guess. I could just keep it back, of course, but this kind of gets rid of it at least. I guess I could still... guess it's still fine, maybe not trading off. Because I could trade for something potentially bigger. And even if he pumps next turn, I could make a bunch of 1/1 blockers against this Weaselback. So probably no trades here, no blocks. Because there's something potentially bigger I can trade off for. Right, like this Red Cap Raiders, solid. Could have a removal spell, but now I guess I can adventure out this Ocam Ranger, which can make a bunch of 1/1s to block off his Weaselback and say go. Could have a removal spell here, that would be quite unfortunate. I'll have to take 4. I could just Forever Young this back and try to play it out again to block the Red Cap Raiders. But yeah, I have to go for the block if he attacks. He might have a pump trick, but I still have to go for it. Just to force it out. It's a high chance he has a pump trick. Mono red tends to have a lot of stuff like this, yep. And that's a lot of damage. Red Cap Raiders is annoying. Alright, so now what? Don't have any good cards here. I'm flooding out. Definitely gonna play out Swamp. I could just Forever Young back the Red Cap the Maraleaf Rider, and hopefully trade off for the Red Cap Raiders. The Ocam Ranger can't pump yet. But I think I need to deal with the Raiders in some way. Otherwise, it's going to be too big, and I probably have to take 2 from this Raging Red Cap. I could play out the Ocam Ranger and try to block this Raging Red Cap, but yeah, I think for now the better play would just be to get back the Maraleaf Rider, unfortunately, and try to block off this Raging Red Cap. I mean, yeah, this Red Cap Raider. And hopefully I can stabilize next turn, a sack of food, play out the Ranger, and hopefully this doesn't get pumped to 1,000,000 bits. I could just chump block it too, which I don't mind since I might have an extra blocker for this Weaselback Red Cap nonetheless. Well, if he pumps this, that's 6 damage. So I guess I'll be taking 3, and 6 will be a lot of damage. So I guess I might have to chump block this Raging Red Cap. Could have another Bargain, that would be quite unfortunate. Alright. Okay, a Bloodhaze Wolverine. I guess I still have a 1/1 token to block it, but I'm still going to block with... Still going to try to hold back this Weaselback Red Cap. We're kind of flooding out here. We definitely need to find some better blockers or some answers. Okay, Order Midnight can maybe fetch me back the Maraleaf Rider. But I think this turn I'm going to play out the Ranger. Yeah. I could maybe just trade this off and fetch it back for the Order of Midnight and make a bunch of 1/1s. Yeah, I guess I could fetch it back next turn and try to replay the adventure. So I think I'm going to say go. I think I need to keep up my life total. And then I can just replay it and hopefully block this Raging Red Cap off. Opponent seems to be mana screwed. I mean, it seems to be flooding out. think I'm going to have to block here. Yeah. Alright. Hopefully there's no pump trick. I was just trying to deal as much damage as possible. I had to make the reasonable blocks here. Please no pump trick. Please. Alright, at least a Raging Red Cap is gone. I'm just going to take 3. I might stabilize if I pick up enough food. Ooh, a Golden Egg seems fine. I think the play, however, should just to be to retrieve back the Ocam Ranger, I think, and just recast the adventure. Seems pretty solid. And I still have a food next turn. I don't think I'm gonna die, to be honest, because I need these 1/1s to hold back this Wolverine. I'll be taking 1, but I can still, like, Golden Egg next turn. Okay, is he gonna make this unblockable? Probably. Could have a barge in, but that's still fine. I should be able to stay alive still. Just taking 1. He probably has another barge in. Could have an Ember Cleave. Please no Ember Cleave. Alright. Next turn I can play out the Egg and the Ocam Ranger. Ooh, Sir Comrade. Well, don't think it's a turn to play it though. I think I might just play the Egg here just to make sure I don't... Yeah, I should have enough to play Adamant, so... I think I'm liking the Egg here. Gets me another way to gain life. Draw a card. Could just play Order and the Merleaf Rider and keep up 2 mana. In case he has something. The more mana efficient play would be the Ocam Ranger, but I'm afraid he could have like a Searing Barrage or something. And that can be problematic. And I might be fine just getting in for 1 with this human. I could save this for Trail, but I don't think it's worth it. I think it's more important to gain as much life as possible and hopefully not get killed by the opponent. And I should attack with this 1/1. But again, he could have another haste creature. Okay, that's annoying. So my job now is just to outrace the opponent. Otherwise, I don't think I'm winning this. I think I'm just gonna sacrifice food end of turn, just to make sure I stay mana efficient. Alright, play out land, Conrad Tyne, and Ocam Ranger, so I can potentially just outrace the opponent here, just attacking for a whole bunch with Ocam Ranger, and then I could have gotten 1 extra point of damage last turn, so a bit of a minor misplay. I think next turn it could just be lethal, unless he can do 5 damage to my face, which is pretty difficult. He can still make a 1/1 chump blocker, that's fine. I think I'm going to leave up as much black mana as possible. So he gets in for 2. He can definitely chump block Sir Comrade, but he's still going to lose 1 life to 13. 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's see what he does here. I think he's counting. So he can chump block Sir Comrade. He's going to go down to 13. Well, the Cauldron's excellent. I can just deal with the Ginger Brute now. Why not? I could just Cauldron the Dwarf. He goes down to 13. Then what happens? That's 14, 13, then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. Okay, no, okay. So he's gonna be at 13 life. Then he's gonna be at 12. Then he's gonna take 6. So that's gonna be 7. Then he's gonna take 4. I think I'm just gonna attack. See what happens. I don't think I want to go for lethal here. I think it's more important to take out the Ginger Brute while I can. I could pop here and tap the Occam Ranger, but it might be more important to keep up a blocker. So you're just gonna let go? That's strange. Yeah, let's pump. Cover removal spell here. Okay, he has Slaying Fire. Let's activate Comrade before he dies. Could have shot my face with it, but I guess he wanted to survive, in a sense. Okay, wow. That was close. Alright, so either way, if I would have used it on the dwarf, this situation would have happened, so I guess I don't need to feel bad. Okay. Please don't kill me. Just 3 damage to my face. Oh my god, that was close. Good game, opponent. That was really scary. So maybe it wasn't, maybe it was a mistake to pump. But I could, maybe a single point of damage would have killed him off. So I could have like milled an extra creature and got him. But a pretty close game. Let's open the pack. Crack a pack. Whatever term you prefer. Pack one, pick one. Oathsworn Knight isn't bad. Not the most amazing black card, since it's forced to attack and can get chump block, but it's more flexible than, you know, the other 2 cards, which are pretty good. But Oathsworn Knight is keeps us in single black still. So let's continue. Guess we got a new quest that we can. All right, a new 750. Fine. Let's keep playing. Okay, I don't mind a tap land, and then the turn after we can play out Merryleaf Rider with Double Reef Soul Cauldron. I think it's decent, and we're on the draw. Let's try this. And another red opponent. Well, I don't know why red is such a popular color in Eldraine. I guess it's because people just like to draft aggro decks all day. I could just Reef Soul this. It's not bad. I could also just play out the Smitten Swordsmaster, maybe offer trade. Could have a second one following up. We have Forever Young to get our creatures back anyways. I could drain them for 1. Let's just play out the Smitten Swordsmaster. If he has a third one, that's fine. I can still Reef Soul and get rid of it. And then potentially trade off next turn. I have a Forever Young to get these 2 knights back, so I don't think I care too much about them dying. Usually in the late game I can make enough food to stabilize against a red opponent. This is like the 4th red opponent. The 4th mono red opponent, in fact, that I've been facing against. Next turn I can just Reef Soul this and try to get an attack across if he decides to trade. Okay, this is fine. Definitely going to take it here. I definitely need to Reef Soul here, or else I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. You could have a Bargain. I think this is fine. I could just get an attack in. Why not? I'm still gaining 2 life. He's dealing 2 to me back. But I guess this can still block off. Kind of forces them to use a removal spell. So I think I'm just going to say go. I guess the 1-1 going to start getting in, but the Spore Cap Spider can hold it off at least. You could have a Searing Barrage, but again I have Forever Young to recur back my creatures. Another 7 Dwarves? Man, jeez. Just going to take it here, I guess. Could keep Cauldron up for activation. I mean, he should have 1 mana to use a pump spell anyway, so I don't think I care. If he decides to attack with both, I'm going to activate the Cauldron and then try to block 1 off. Alright, let's try this. If he uses a pump spell, I'll probably just block with a Smitten Swords Master. Bargain. Yep. Still going to block it because it results in the trade. This is still 2 for 1. I mean, it's a 1 for 1 at the very least because he used up his own spell for it. He could have a second one, but at least I get it out of the way. And hopefully I can stabilize by then. Raging Redcap is scary. I think I might just play out the Spore Cap Spider here and say go. I could just play out Merreleaf Rider, I don't know. Now I'm definitely blocking the Raging Redcap if he tries to attack with it. Take 3 for now. Another 7 Dwarves? Okay, I guess I'm blocking the 7 Dwarf now. Okay, I guess I can block the 1-1 and get a value trade. And still go down to 5, but this is a lot of damage. Yeah, let's just take 3. I think I'm fine with this. Hopefully I top deck a land so I can Reef Soul and play out a creature to potentially trade off. Does he have another pump spell? Yeah, he probably has another pump spell. Okay, he's just going to go for it. It's not lethal yet, but I'm going to die pretty much next turn. Yep. And it's just good game. Alright. Missing land drops suck. But I swear we're playing 17 lands, so sometimes the opponent just cheeses you out. And we're still playing double Spore Cap Spider to block them off, so. Alright, still 17 lands, yep, making sure. Hopefully we can get the 5 wins and I can be fine maybe uploading this video. This deck would have been a lot more perfect if there was a lot more removal spells, of course. Maybe it was better to block the Raging Redcap. Okay, this seems fine. We have Trail at 2, Spore Cap at 3, Savvy Hunter at 3, which can potentially go off. Let's keep this. Alright, Ginger Brute's opponent in a maybe aggressive green deck. Might have trouble dealing with big creatures. We'll see. No Merreleaf Rider, okay. Could play out the Savvy Hunter or the Spore Cap Spider next turn. I think it might be fine to play out the Savvy Hunter just to scare the opponent, in a sense. He doesn't outmuscle doesn't kill this yet. So I think I'm fine just risking it, playing it out to start getting some attacks in, generating food. He might just leave this back to have a... Okay, well, that was a quick concession. Okay, thanks opponent. I might just get up to 5 wins and this deck can be okay. Guess he couldn't deal with the Savvy Hunter, and I can just get a million food off of it. Alright, sweet. 4 wins. Hopefully we can get to 5 to maybe enable another draft. We'll see. Alright, 1 minute. I guess not a lot of people are up right now drafting Throne. But you know, it varies. Sometimes the matchmaking system might take a while, even though I think they should improve that a lot more. Hopefully I don't... I mean, I guess I can still beat Mono Red, but if I'm playing against Mono Red, hopefully I don't get mana screwed like that last game. I could have stabilized if I got Reef Soul and played on Merrily Rider. That could potentially trade off. Alright, opening hand, not bad. Savvy Hunter on 3, Tempting Witch on 3, a Golden Egg and even a Reef Soul. We're on the draw. Seems decent. Okay, another mono red. Please, stop. Don't want to play against a million mono red opponents all day. Yep, double mono red again. So I guess the bots don't care too much about mono red, but now I can play out a Merrily Rider which can trade off for it, which I'm fine. Could save Reef Soul for something much more threatening. Fine trading this off. He could use a pump spell. Let's bait it out. Use up a whole turn for it, perhaps. And this kind of makes his dwarves less powerful. Hengewalker, sure. Seems like a decent Reef Soul target, but I don't think I want to cast it now. Savvy Hunter seems fine, and next turn maybe I can kill it and get a food out of this. Alternatively, I can make a food play out Curious Pair. But I think it's better to maybe Reef Soul next turn and play Golden Egg to just have mana consistency. And if he removes this, eventually he will just remove a 3/3, so let's just play this out. Fine taking 3 here. It's not the end of the world. Definitely not trading off a Savvy Hunter. He could have removal. Could have a Joust. Okay, Slaying Fire makes sense. But I should have enough ways to recur back in this deck with cards like Forever Young that this is fine. I think I'm going to play Ig first. Still have a Swamp to play out the Reef Soul, so don't mind it. Ooh, okay. So got kind of punished there, but so be it. Still can play this, use this for mana fixing, but I think the life gain is too important. Raging Redcap. I can potentially step a double block, so I think this turn I'm the Forest. Could play out Tempting Witch for mana efficiency, but it's almost the same thing as literally just making a food and playing Curious Pair, so I think I'm going to do that. And I can leave this to block the Raging Redcap, and he still needs to pump Trick to get past this. So I think this is fine. We're going to say go. Obviously blocking here. If he wants to use a pump trick, that's fine, because he's going to use it on a pretty bad creature. He might as well attack, right? Maybe high roll me. Okay. Brimstone Trebuchet is annoying. Need to get rid of that. I'm just going to say go. Gingerbread Cabin makes a food, so that's great. Could play out the Tempting Witch, but I think it's more important to perhaps make a bunch of 1/1s with this. Alternatively, I could just play it out, but I think it's more important to just do this. And just say go. Next turn I can play this out and Tempting Witch. Do I sacrifice food end of turn? Maybe. But my life total is pretty decent now that I don't care too much. So these 1/1s can be fine with the Occame Ranger, which can potentially... Okay, another Raging Redcap. That's fine. Next turn I can play out the Ranger and also the Tempting Witch. That can potentially just double block these forever. Definitely blocking here. There's no reason to play out the human because he's just going to get first strike onto this either way. Pump Trick would be decent here. I still block off a nice... I still use up a combat trick. So Curious Pair seems like a pretty excellent 2-drop in this format. Ooh, Reef Soul. Could just Reef Soul the Trebuchet. Definitely playing out the Ranger here. So there's 2 Raging Redcaps. I don't know which one's more scarier. The Trebuchet is dealing me damage per turn, but I can still stabilize. Just kill it. I can hold these off for like almost forever, so this is fine. Then we're gonna say go, no attacks. Could use the Occame Ranger to block the other one next turn. But I think I might be more happy just playing out Tempting Witch instead. He might just leave this back because if I block... okay, I'm definitely going to have to take... Don't think I'm blocking with this Occame Ranger because I need the activate ability for next turn. So I think I'm fine just taking 3 for now. He could use a Pump Trick here and put my life total down. Okay, sure. Barge in, I still take an extra damage, sure. It's not the end of the world. And I should have this Ranger out. Okay, I think I'm fine taking 1 damage too with this Falmir Knight, drawing a card. Ooh, Sir Comrade. But I think a Tempting Witch is okay. I don't think I'm going to die anytime soon, and I can activate the Occame Ranger too. To get a good blocks off these Raging Redcaps. Don't mind that. Sure. Alright, opponent's getting a little bit greedy there. So what we're going to do is we're going to block with a Tempting Witch. Block this 1/1. Could have another first strike ability. Maybe I go for like a double block perhaps. Nah, I think I need as much blockers as possible. So we're going to try this. And in response, we're going to tap the Occame Ranger. You could have another barge in, but still, we should get 1 solid trade out of this or force a pump spell. Sure. That's still a removal spell on like a pretty bad creature, and he still doesn't get damage across. Another land, so I can play out Sir Comrade, play land, sack of food, end of turn, say go. I think I'm still gonna keep up. Don't still keep up the pump on this Occame Ranger in case he kills off Sir Comrade. And I still need to get a 1/1 blocker to block this Raging Redcap. I could also just play out the Falmir Knight. Yeah, why not? Well, nah, no. I think I need to save as much food as possible, so we're just going to say go. Okay, so he's scared of attacking now, so that's good. I'm going to take 1 here, I don't mind. Right. Think I can attack in with Comrade. Yeah, let's go for it. This is a lot of damage, and but I'm still going to keep back the Occame Ranger for the pump trick on the human. Otherwise, I'm not going to have a good blocker for this Raging Redcap if I'm too greedy with this, but 5 damage is a lot. And I can play out the Falmir Knight, which I don't mind. Could have saved the egg for card for the mana, but I think it's better to just keep the mana up for the. I mean, you sacrifice the food for life gain, especially against a mono red deck. All right, sweet. Got to 5 wins, so looking good. Tired of these mono red decks. Come on, be a little bit more creative, opponents. Draft a dual color synergistic deck like I did. All right, 5 wins. We got back our gems. We can do another draft, but let's get to 6 to kind of try to maximize on our win rates. So let's play again. I swear this is like the 5th mono red deck. I think we lost to a blue white Flyers deck. Then we lost to we did lose to another mono red. So this could be the 4th mono red deck that we played against. And I forgot the first one. Maybe they were all mono red. Maybe we played against 6 of them. Don't know what's going on. I guess people love the 7 dwarves. It's even more scarier if they have a Thorbrand or like an Embercleave in their deck. But yeah, I guess if we don't get mana screwed and we draw enough foods, we can definitely defeat a mono red opponent quite easily. Alright, I think this is fine. We do have Golden Egg on 2, then Fierce Witch Stalker that can make us a food. I think I'm keeping. Might just play out the Gingerbread Cabin tapped. I think it's fine. That could be wrong though, because I have so many forests in this deck, and this could be an extra potential food. Let's play out forest. I think I'm okay. Next time I'm gonna play out the Golden Egg, draw a card. And I can still sacrifice this to play out the Witch Stalker on 4. And I'm playing 10-7. Okay, yeah, I'd like a Savvy Hunter on 3. But now Golden Egg helps us cantrip, draws us a card. Hopefully pick up more 4 soon, so I can eventually cast this on 4. Fox, sure. Could play out the Sporecap Spider, but I think that's a little bit too defensive. However, I could bait out Removal Trick. But yeah, Savvy Hunter is a little bit more better. If he can't answer this, then it can just go off and win me the game. Opponent's playing white, so he's going to be definitely aggressive, but not as aggressive as the mono red opponents. Alright, I guess they just concede after you play Savvy Hunter and they have no answer for it. And that got us Diamond Tier 3. I guess we got 6, and I can take a nice solid snapshot of this draft. So let's hit the print screen, get a decent snapshot, and we're gonna go back to our deck, and we're gonna try to lay out the interaction spells, put them on one side, and yeah, and then we just take a snapshot of this. And maybe this could get 7 wins, but either way, I'm happy uploading a 6-win video. But if we can get to 7, that would be pretty bonkers. So let's get to 7. Haven't gotten to 7 in a while in Eldraine, to be honest. There's been some matchups where opponents just had crazy bombs, or I get mana screwed or mana flood, and never got there. But black-green is definitely one of those. Probably my favorite color in this whole entire set. Two color combination this whole entire set, and yeah, it's definitely probably the most powerful. Most arguably the most powerful. The green can splash. There's enough removal in black. The creatures are big. They're good blockers. There's a lot of recursion in that. those two colors. Yeah, so it's probably the best color combination that you can ask for. Alright, a single black gives us access to Savvy Hunter, but even then we have a 3-drop with Sporecap Spider, Cauldron on 1. I think this is keepable and we're on the draw. Hopefully we get our single black mana source, or maybe even a golden egg to fix, but let's try this out. Opponent's in white. Okay, no black mana yet. Cauldron's fine as a turn 1 play. Ooh, Boros. Okay, so at least it's not mono red. Okay, a single black seems good, but let's play out Force for now. Kind of keep the opponent speculating on what we're playing. He's probably going to get in for 2 or maybe 3. If he plays another 7 Dwarves, I might just consider firing off a Scalding Cauldron. Now what? So we're going to play out the Swamp. Could have Steering Barrage. So I might maybe like try to get him to block and then use the Steering Barrage on the Sporecap Spider. 700 might be a little bit too risky with all his open mana, so I think I'm fine just playing this out. Just a solid blocker. Next turn we can play out the Hunter. Okay, Glass Casket. Well, yep. I guess did play it around it nicely. I still can't deal with his flyers too efficiently, but now I can kind of resolve the Savvy Hunter and make sure the opponent doesn't have another removal spell for it. I could play out Merreleaf Rider and Reeve Soldis, because he could have more. But he didn't. He would have played them out already. I think I'm going to drop a Savvy Hunter, maybe next turn Reeve Soldis, and maybe get an attack in for free food. I think this is reasonable. He could have a Scorching Dragonfire or Red Cap Melee off the top. But yeah, I think this is reasonable. If he has no ants, I guess he has Scorching Dragonfire. Yeah, alright. Took the risk there, but now it's exiled and I can't get back. Alright, so we're going to have to win the game with another strategy here. I can definitely just sack the Cauldron and play out Merreleaf Rider. Can't do it on his turn, but he could draw into it. I'll just say go for now. Alright, so Steering Barrage, so I'm definitely going to activate this Cauldron in response as long as he's tapped out, so he doesn't have a pump trick to get out of range. But I'm happy that he actually used the Steering Barrage on the Merreleaf Rider, because it's not an actual good target. So now the Gingerbread Cabin gives me food, and I can say go. Opponent seems to be flooding out just like I am. Another 7 Dwarves. Seems like a good, decent Reeve Soul target. So it's Boros aggro with a million 7 Dwarves. Now Fierce Witchstalker looks great. I think I'm going to play it out. I think I might just Reeve Soul this. Or I can keep it back. I might be still fine taking 2 if he kills this. because there could be a potential flyer that I can't deal with that I need to Reef Soul instead. So I think I'm going to pass here and just say go. Could just start attacking him. I'm fine taking 2 because I have food to get back. Ooh, and also Smitten Swordsmaster can trade off. So I think I'm fine attacking here. 4 damage is good. Play out a Swordsmaster. Might trade this off, might not. I don't think I need to play out land. I should have enough food to sack. Try to represent a spell or something. I could just take it, and I can smack him back for 2. Let's take it. Let's trade. It's reasonable because I don't really want to use Reef Soul on a 7 dwarves if this gets out of hand. And also gain a bit of life, so this is fine. Sir Comrade, I mean Reaper, yeah, let's just use it now. Main phase this. There could be some removal spells he has that he's considering. Wait, Fling is great, and a land seems solid. Play land. And I guess this is our 7 wins. I can't really see ourselves losing this. We have some big creatures on the battlefield. Opponent seems to be flying out. Another trapped in tower. Okay. I guess Reaper can gain flying, so that's why he decided to trap the 4/4. I'm not sacrificing food because I could get a Trail of Crumbs off of this, but Reaper seems solid here. Next turn I can play out food. Tries another removal spell. Oh, I guess he only gets it. This only gets flying if this is attacking. So yeah, okay. Could just Reef Soul. Could just take 2 for now. There might be a scary flyer that I need to deal with, so I'm gonna keep the removal spell in hand. And I shouldn't be dead here. I should be fine. He could play like I don't know, a Worthy Knight or an Ardenvale Tactician that I need to take care of instead. And as long as I still have creatures in this deck, I can potentially trade off. I think this is fine. I'm flooding out a bit. Could use Trail of Crumbs by now. Okay, I think that's a perfectly reasonable Reef Soul target, because it's just gonna gain haste. It's a pretty scary card to deal with since it has evasion and I can't block it profitably. Alright, Trail of Crumbs, so I think we're gonna start there. This is a card that's pretty much gonna win us the game, of course. Tempting Witch seems solid. Yeah, I guess I can play out Tempting Witch, play land, and then sacrifice food end of turn, and activate Trail of Crumbs. Seems decent. Yeah, let's hold on to Reef Soul for now. I mean, this has evasion, but at the same time, he needs a weapon for this to get this better. So definitely blocking here if he attacks with a Youthful Knight. Force a pump spell. Sure. It's not going to give him trample because that's a human, so fine still taking 1 here. And we can just outvalue him with the life gain, the recursion, and the... Alright, that's a perfect soul for the Reef Soul, so I'm happy I held on to that. And Sporecap Spider is a pretty decent blocker. I could be even more greedy and not Reef Soul to prize Griffin. But, oh, I guess I have double Reef Soul now, so let's play it out. I can still sack food. Keeping double black in case I have Sir Comrade. Merleaf Rider, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think I'm going to still sacrifice food end of turn and search for something. You could have another flyer that I need to deal with, but at least the 1/5 blocks the 2/1 profitably. Sir Comrade can pretty much win me the game if I get it. He has a Fairy Guy Mutter. Okay, and all that glitters, sure. That's a 7/6, okay. Well, how am I supposed to deal with this? I guess I have to maybe take it and maybe use this as a future chump blocker. But this isn't looking great for us. A 7/6 first strike is not something I don't think I can deal with. So I need to probably grab Sir Comrade and try to win the game from there. Rosethorn. I don't know how good that is. I think I might need the extra card draw with the Golden Egg. But all that glitters is not looking good. I don't have any ways to deal with it. Probably have to Reef Soul the Ginger Brute so he doesn't gain life. But for now, I think we just play out a Golden Egg here. Hopefully find some answers. Ooh, Order. Ordering can get back perhaps a Tempting Witch. But I don't think that's enough damage to outrace the opponent. But I definitely need to play out the Order this turn. So I think what we can do is we can grab, ooh, the Tempting Witch does make a food though. And I can potentially drain the opponent out. Yeah, let's try it. And I can just chump block, basically. So I probably have to Reef Soul the Ginger Brute while it's tapped. And probably just try to outrace the opponent while I can. Guess I'm going to play out Tempting Witch. And I'm going to chump block with the 1/5. I could just take 6. It's not the end of the world. But now I guess since I passed my turn, I'm fine just chump blocking here. Yeah, let's chump block. Yeah, I'm fine taking 6. Should have enough food to potentially drain him out and chump block. I should make enough chump blockers as Oakham Ranger as well. So what I like here is, guess I'm fine activating the Tempting Witch. It does make me lose a blocker, but I should have enough mana, so let's do this. Sir Comrade. Alright, yes, spawn that. Now I can play Sir Comrade and chump. Ooh, I guess I can play Sir Comrade, Adventure the Oakham Ranger and pump. So he would need another evasive threat. I think I'm fine attacking with Spider here, just to get that extra point of damage in. Unless he can get this flying. Oh no, if he can get this flying, I pretty much lose. Yeah, I should have maybe kept the Spore Cap Spider up. Okay, I guess he's just going to play it out, that's fine. I can keep chump blocking this. I'm definitely going to keep up this Spore Cap Spider if he decides to attack. I guess now I can attack in with the flyers. I guess I can just sacrifice the fruit first. As activates Comrade, he should be dead. Don't know why I tapped double black, but he should be dead here unless he has like a million lifelink. I think this is fine. I can still activate the egg. Okay. Alright. Sweet. Got our 7-win victory. It was looking kind of scary, the Youthful Knight with all that glitters. If he had a Fairy Guide Mutter, I would have been dead. So I should have thought of that before attacking with the Sportcap Spider, but happy we got to 7 wins. It was kind of close against those mono red decks. I was scared that I couldn't get there, but this is looking nice, so let's claim our prize. 950 gems, 2 packs, and now we can crack some packs and see what goodies we open. And the pick one, pack one scenario, it's either Okame or Fail Wishes. Fail Wishes can definitely be very powerful, especially if you can make a insane sideboard card, insane deck with good sideboard cards. Usually in the late game, you can discard 2 lands, and you can bring this card back from your graveyard or even from your board back to your hand, and then you can find a nice bomb that you keep on the sideboard. So it's a nice way to have a large deck, I suppose. Also, you know, a 1/4 flying blocker is pretty decent, but it'd be hard to pass up an Okame adversary, to be honest. This card doesn't ask much of you. Just a 4-mana 2/3 with Death Touch that if it attacks once, you draw a card, and also if the opposing opponent is playing green, you get cast this for 2 less mana. So Fail Wishes is a more of a build-around card, I think. Still pretty strong if you can stabilize in the late game and play a very controlling blue deck. Then this Fail Wishes can be a fine blocker at 2 mana, and then you can and it's pretty much indestructible unless you exile it, because even if the opponent tries to use enchantment removal on this, like Charm Sleep or you know, Reef Soul, or find some ways to try to kill this and target this off, you can again just pay 2 mana, discard 2 lands that you otherwise wouldn't want in the late game, bring this back in your hand, and use the sorcery to gain more value by getting pretty powerful cards from your sideboard, and then trying to win the game from there. But I would pick an Okame adversary just to stay safe. But Fail Wish is definitely one of those sleepers in this set. So what's the second pack? Deathless Knight is powerful, but again, it kind of forces you into that black-green archetype. This is more of a payoff card for that black-green archetype, and you would need a bunch of black-green enablers. Sometimes black-green might not be open around your draft pod. Sometimes it can be, so it's a bit of a coin flip. But overall, I think I'd take the Trap in the Tower as just a solid removal spell at 2 mana. Keeps us flexible, doesn't commit us to a color right away, also totally splashable as well. Dance of the Mance is again a pretty heavy commitment towards the white-blue enchantment artifacts deck. The power level is definitely there if you can get it going. But again, I'm not a big fan of white-blue in this set, since it kind of forces you to... This card kind of forces you to just pick up a bunch of artifacts and non-aura enchantments throughout your draft, and sometimes you know, it's not the most flexible pick. It's a card that's definitely excellent if you're already in that white-blue enchantment artifacts archetype and you picked up a couple of them already. But overall, you don't really want to spend your whole draft just picking up a bunch of enchantment artifacts. There's not too many excellent ones in this set. They're all okay. There's like a Scalding Cauldron, maybe Gingerbrute, maybe the Enchanted Carriage, maybe Spitting Wheel, maybe Witching Well, and those are pretty fine. But otherwise, you know, you're kind of leaving behind some pretty strong features in the rest of the other colors. So yeah, this one is a pretty high variance card. Definitely great if you can pull it off, of course. Return up to X target. Okay, so the X is amount, each with combat mirror cost X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. So the X has to be a number, an amount, as well as the has to be the amount, but also the same mana cost as the artifacts. And X equals 6 or more is pretty difficult, so you want to cast this at 8 mana perhaps with a white-blue deck, and potentially you can retrieve them back. But either way, sometimes you want to end up using those artifacts and enchantments, but I guess they can become powerful 4/4 bodies in the late game, but it's pretty difficult to pull off. But it's fine if you're ready in that archetype. And white-blue in this set, it tends to want to play lots of flyers as well, and you can kind of maybe go off with artifacts, enchantment, white-blue flyers theme, of course. But seems it can be a fun card and pick one, pack one. But in a series draft setting, I'd probably just take a Trap in the Tower as a solid removal spell and stay flexible. But other than that, yeah, gonna upload this video. Excellent 7-win run. Hope you guys watch more of my future videos and have a wonderful day. Bye.